There has been a number of Nintendo Switch first-party rumored games that we've discussed on this channel over the last year or so, but what I wanted to do in this video is compile all of the rumors and what we could see in 2023 in terms of announcements and also game releases. Now, first, I do want to go over the confirmed games so we make sure what's confirmed and what's rumored. So let's go ahead and first start off with the game that's launching very soon as of the time that I'm recording this video, and that is Fire Emblem Engage. That is dropping on January 20th, 2023. This game is looking absolutely incredible, and I've been covering it quite a bit on the channel. So if you're someone new to the Fire Emblem franchise, or if you want to get into the Fire Emblem franchise, check out the videos on the channel. They're pretty good. It goes over everything that you do need to know, but it looks like Fire Emblem Engage is going to be a nice return to form when it comes to the classic Fire Emblem and also the new school touches. Now, next up is Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. That is launching on February 24th, 2023. This is a remaster of the original Wii game, and the only thing that I don't like about it is that there's not online co-op multiplayer, because that was the big thing with this game, was that there's 4-player local multiplayer. It would have been nice if this game actually had that online built into it, but it doesn't, and the game overall is still a good game. It's a really fun side-scrolling Kirby adventure game where you can use multiple characters and powers and stuff like that. So if you haven't played it before, then it's probably gonna be pretty good for you to go back and play it. Next up is Bayonetta Origins, Zyrus and the Lost Demon on March 17th, 2023. Now, this is a prequel far back with Zyrus when it comes to Bayonetta. This is not the typical Bayonetta games like Bayonetta 1, Bayonetta 2, and Bayonetta 3. This is also the first spin-off of the Bayonetta franchise when it comes to video games. So I'm looking forward to it, especially after that crazy ending of Bayonetta 3. It'd be cool to kind of go back and play a different style of Bayonetta game and learn more about the history and lore and characters of this franchise. Now, next up is Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. This is to be decided. There is no actual release date so far. I'm hoping that it's going to be slotted into April, because within the first 5 months, that would be the only month that doesn't have a first-party game from Nintendo, or at least a big exclusive from Nintendo. So I'm hoping that it's April. It's already been delayed multiple times here. We have the war that's going on, that's still going at this point, that caused this in the first place. I wish Nintendo just would release it, but hey, it is what it is. Next up is Pikmin 4. This game is confirmed for 2023 this year, but we have no exact release date of it coming out. Now, we should get more information on Pikmin 4 as we get closer to the Nintendo Direct season. So February or so, March, there could be some more information, or maybe they wait till summer, maybe at E3, to talk about the game more as we get closer to when it's actually going to be launching. Now, it's been quite some time for this game, and it's probably went through a lot of different ideas and variations on what they wanted to do, but it does seem like it was a holdover for maybe what they wanted to do on the Wii U, and they decided to kind of scrap that and put in whatever they're going to put in for this game and put it out on the Nintendo Switch here at the end of the system's life. So we'll see how Pikmin 4 shapes out for this year. Now, last but not least, when it comes to the confirmed games, that is The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. That's dropping on May 12th, 2023. And yes, this game is going to be absolutely incredible. It's going to be a sales juggernaut. I think it's going to review really well, and it's going to do some things that are absolutely insane when it comes to the Legend of Zelda franchise. I think that this game is going to blow Breath of the Wild away when it comes to everything that it offers, considering the time it has taken them to build upon what the foundation is of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So I'm really looking forward to it, and yes, I'll be covering this game like crazy with videos and of course content once the game drops. Now, with that out of the way, we do have all of the confirmed first-party Nintendo Switch games for 2023 so far. That covers pretty much the first 5 months of the Nintendo Switch. Now, there is going to be probably a big Nintendo Direct in February or March or something like that, and we'll get more details on games. So let's go and get into these rumored games first, and that is Metroid Prime Remastered plus Metroid Prime 4. Now, there hasn't really been anything when it comes to Metroid Prime 4 launching in 2023, but I'm just guessing that there's going to be Metroid when it comes down to it, because we have had rumors with Metroid Prime Remastered, multiple sources, including the person who got Tears of the Kingdom right, and he said that we are primed and ready. He did the same thing when it comes to Tears of the Kingdom about Zelda fans crying tears, and then all of a sudden Nintendo did reveal that. So I do feel that Metroid Prime Remastered is a high probability to get an announcement for 2023, and then we get the first footage of Metroid Prime 4. That would be absolutely incredible, because Metroid Prime is an awesome franchise that I feel if they did a few things to it and re-released it in today's day on the Switch, it could be really fun to play through. Now, next up is Golden Sun. Now, we don't know exactly what the Golden Sun game would be. Would it be a remaster of one of the previous games? Would it be a brand new entry? Now, the rumor started with the same person who got Mario Golf right from Camelot, and it is rumored that Camelot would be working on this. Now, me personally, I would love for there to be a bigger style AA or even AAA type of style Golden Sun game on the Nintendo Switch as one of the RPG swan songs for the system, but I feel that even a really high quality remaster of any of the Golden Sun games would work. It would be something, because we have got literally nothing from Golden Sun in like a decade plus or so. So anything would be good at this point, whether it's a remaster or it's a brand new game. Something tells me that it might be like a compilation HD remaster of the games. I think that would work just fine. Those have been very popular with stuff like Castlevania, also Sonic games. There's been the Mega Man games and all that. So I think that Golden Sun would be pretty cool if they did something like that. Now, next up is a new Donkey Kong game, and apparently it would be from the same team that brought us Mario Odyssey. So that's interesting. Now, this rumor kind of got a lot of steam back like mid 2022 or so, but died off. There really hasn't been anything, but apparently they are sitting on the game. Now, there was rumors and conflicting reports whether it's going to be a 3D Donkey Kong game or a 2D Donkey Kong game. Heck, maybe it's a hybrid of a game, but we still don't even know if this is even going to happen. But honestly, it's been way too long since the last Donkey Kong game. Like, it's been a hot minute. Like, the last one that we got was back in 2014 with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and then all they did was port Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze to the Nintendo Switch and added Funky Kong, you know, and that was that. And that game actually sold better than the original on the Wii U, like many of the ports when it comes to the Wii U to the Nintendo Switch. So I think that there is definitely an audience for a brand new Donkey Kong game, and considering where Donkey Kong used to be in Nintendo's like pantheon of games in the Super Nintendo era, Donkey Kong was so big. They released multiple new Donkey Kong games on the Super Nintendo. It was something that Nintendo really strived to make, you know. So the fact that we haven't seen anything in pretty much a decade at this point is kind of upsetting, but at the same time, I get it. Look, we got the new Mario movie coming out. That's going to have Donkey Kong in there. Maybe there's going to be another game coming up sometime soon. So I think Donkey Kong is going to be something that we see soon on Nintendo Switch or the next system. Now, next up, when it comes to rumored games here, and that is FZero. And this one has some credibility to it because Nate from Nate the Hate and fellow Spawncast member has stated that FZero will be making its return in 2023. Now, we do have to wait and see what comes of it, but FZero has been dead for even longer than Donkey Kong. You know, FZero is one of those franchises that never really sold incredibly well outside of the original and maybe the N64. Things started going downhill after the N64 when it comes to FZero. Usually what you want to see with a franchise is that the games continue to have high sales or sales that are going up as the more entries come out and as the games get better. But FZero has been like the complete opposite. The series has been getting better when it comes to releases from the Super Nintendo to the N64 to the GameCube, but the sales went down each time, which is just baffling to me considering how incredible the games are when it comes to what it does in that space. So we'll see what happens with FZero. I'm hoping there's something, even if it's a remaster of FZero GX. I think that would be more than enough for people out there. You put some online multiplayer, do some rebalancing, I think that would be just fine, and that appears to be maybe what they're going to be doing with FZero. Next up is a new Star Fox game. Now apparently it's going to be from an outside studio. Same person who did talk about the Golden Sun stuff stated that a new Star Fox game is coming, and it would be cool if we did get a new Star Fox game. Obviously the last one with Star Fox Zero on the Nintendo Wii U didn't do that great sales wise. Now, there was a number of reasons why. One, because it's the rehash of Star Fox 64. We've already been playing that game for quite some time, but also what they did with some of the control stuff in the game with the Wii U gamepad. The game didn't review as high as it could have, and it is seen as a game that doesn't reach the heights of what Star Fox could be. I think that Star Fox 64 was pretty much the height of what most people felt the franchise's potential or what it could do or how good the game is or was. Now, we did get Star Fox Assault, and there is rumors that we could get a remaster of Star Fox Assault out there, and that would be great. Obviously, Star Fox Assault would be great, but I would personally want to see a brand new Star Fox game that really sticks to what made Star Fox great in the first place. The Super Nintendo game, the N64 game, what those two games did was push tech and have great multiplayer with the N64 game. Now, the Super Nintendo game was a tech beast back in the day. It was hard for me to even explain or describe to my friends when I first saw and played the game what it was. And Star Fox 64 just set the bar even higher. I think that's what Star Fox needs to be regardless. Now, it shocked me that we didn't see a Star Fox on the Wii, because I felt the Wii remote and nunchuck would have been perfect for a game like Star Fox. We saw stuff like Sin and Punishment Star Successor have that control scheme, and it was very good. So I felt that we could see that. And then we got Star Fox on the Wii U, and it didn't necessarily work out the way that I felt that it could have. Now, it's not a terrible game. I think that it's better than what some people try to say that it is, especially once you get used to the control scheme and some of the new stuff that they added into the game. But I feel that going forward, they should really just push what Star Fox 64 did, not the story, not remastering it again or rebooting it again, but push that tech and then also focus on a really campy and corny but awesome story, multiple different paths and different stuff that you can do, some cool multiplayer thrown in there, maybe some co-op missions. And I think that you're going to have a solid Star Fox game that could do really well in the market. Star Fox has been proven to be able to be a good seller on the N64, but it's been quite some time. They're gonna have to bring up some new ideas. Now, last but definitely not least is Kid Icarus Uprising. Now, Jeff Grubb and other insiders have stated that this is happening. Now, also we have the listing from Bandai Namco remastering a classic Nintendo IP, 3D and all that, so that's also fueled the speculation when it comes down to it. And Sakurai kept on talking about Kid Icarus Uprising. Now, obviously that could just be a coincidence because of his channel, and obviously he was the director of Kid Icarus Uprising and he likes it, but him teasing, I wonder if we'll be able to play this on modern systems. The fact that he said that just put things into overdrive when it comes to it, and honestly, this needs to happen because I feel that Kid Icarus Uprising is a game that if that title launched on even the Wii U, I think that it would have done better than it did. Now, obviously the development cost would have went up, but the real problem with that game, there was only one issue, and the issue was the control scheme. The control scheme was very awkward for people, especially if you have big hands. The game itself is absolutely incredible though, but the control scheme with no dual analog, especially with the ground segments, that was rough, and it didn't support the Circle Pad Pro because apparently Sakurai said that they didn't have enough CPU power to use it or update the game to get it that way. So it is what it is there. But on the Nintendo Switch, that would be incredible, even if it wasn't a super big remaster like, let's say, Crisis Core. Like, they didn't improve it that much and they really just took that 3DS game and smoothed it out. I think that would be incredible for the Nintendo Switch, and it would really bring a lot of new people to the Kid Icarus franchise. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be a huge, massive seller like Mario or anything like that, but I feel that it could breathe new life into that franchise, almost kind of like how Fire Emblem Awakening breathed new life into the Fire Emblem franchise, because so many people in today's day have no idea what Kid Icarus is. A lot of kids growing up, like, they didn't play any Kid Icarus games. Like, if you're someone that was born around that time and you just never got around to playing 3DS like that, and you're older now, like, I think that Kid Icarus is a franchise that you probably know nothing about. And if they came out with a great game and Kid Icarus Uprising just looks and plays incredible, I think that that could bring in new people to it and revive what we saw before. So I'm hoping that Kid Icarus gets another chance. It's been over a decade since we saw Kid Icarus Uprising, and honestly, the Kid Icarus franchise has just not had anything. Like, it's been only 3 games in the past 30 plus years. This was an NES game back in the day, so there really hasn't been much for Pit and crew, but I'm hoping that we do see something when it comes down to it. But make sure you guys check out my previous videos where I've talked about these games individually. I went over each of these when it comes to Golden Sun, Donkey Kong, FZero, Star Fox, Kid Icarus. So if you want to know more about them individually or anything else that we've talked about with the previous games, I'll have links for you guys in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next one. Peace.